A wonderful episode of Life Talk Pod with Bami. Today I have with me a friend, a wonderful guest, Sukomi. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm okay. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
We thank God, we thank God, we thank God.
Good
I
to be
wanted
here.
to, yeah, I'm so glad you're here. We just want to take, I think something that's been bothering me for some time now about feminism and now does it coexist with faith? And I wanted to just kind of want to have that discussion with you.
Mm,
I want to welcome everybody to today's conversation. We want to explore a topic that sits right at the intersection of personal identity, culture, and belief. Today's goal is not to debate. We want to have a dialogue. I want to understand ideas like independence, submission, partnership, and how they show up in this our modern life, in this our day and age where everybody has evolved. So it's a safe and respectful dialogue. I want to have a woman's perspective on what it means to be a feminist. What does it mean? So, thank you so much for volunteering.
happy to be here. Happy to help. Feminist, you will find me there. You will always find me there. When they are talking about women, you will find me there. I'm always there.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I think I've dedicated how will I put it, um, a week to talk about
Mm-hmm.
women. And part of we used to um have topics that we want to do every month. So 1 week in a month is what I want to focus on the topics that concerns the benefit of women,
Very
the
lovely.
influence of
Lovely.
yeah. So
A wise
yeah,
man.
so
Mm-mm.
I've been now. So I started
I
out like
love
three
it.
months ago. I started out like 3 months ago, inviting different ladies to come and talk about things. How it affects the female gender and how it can also be of benefit to you guys. Because one
Mm-hmm.
thing that we always try to respect are the people that bet life to other people.
Mm.
So what does feminism personally? What does it mean to you? What was the meaning
Okay.
exactly?
So two things come to mind when I think about and talk about feminism. Two words come to mind. The first one is choice, and the second one is equity. So, a lot of people have, you know, taken feminism and made it into what it isn't. But at the end of the day, no matter what somebody does or says about something, that thing still remains what it is, essentially. And feminism is no different, right? A lot of people have, said, oh, feminism is the problem of women these days. A lot of people have said feminism is the solution to the problem of women these days and all that. But after everything is said and done, feminism is still what it is. And basically, it's about, the ability for women to choose what they want without, the influence of men, especially. That's number one. And number two, it's about equity. So a lot of people say equality, which is fair, it's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But I believe the more appropriate word is equity, right? And what does equity mean? Equity basically means giving everybody this a level ground, basically, right? Not necessarily a level ground, actually. Let me rephrase that. Equality is a level ground, right? Equality is a level ground, but equity is giving everybody what they need to be on the same level with everybody else, right?
And you don't okay. Just continue. Continue. Sorry for
So
interrupting you.
picture, there was this picture I saw one time, like trying to explain what equity was. It
Mm.
was the picture had a football field, people were playing football on the field, and there was a fence, and there were people on the other side of the fence trying to see over the fence to watch the football match. And there was a tall person, an average height person, and a short person. The tall person
Mm.
didn't need any stepping stool to stand on to see.
Mm.
The average height person needed a very small stepping stool to stand to see.
Yeah.
And then the short person needed a much higher stepping stool to stand to see. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, when everybody got what they wanted, everybody could see over the fence. That is equity. And that's what
Yeah,
feminism is.
I agree with you on the equity point, because me too, I had a pictorial description of what it means. Like, you have a tree, an apple tree,
Mm-hmm.
standing in the middle of a garden, but like when they say something is like favorable to one side, it's bending. Maybe say
Yeah.
one person, two people are trying to pick from the tree. One side is bending to the left,
Mm-hmm.
and one person is favorable to one person. That is, but equality means, okay, there's two in the same height, but
Yes.
the people are not taller. One
It
person is taller
doesn't
than one
serve
person. So,
everyone.
so, so,
Yes.
so one person is trying to pick more. But equity
Mm-hmm.
means, okay, the person that is shorter has the highest tool to be able to
Yes.
match the productivity
Exactly.
of the person with the shorter stool. Yeah. So yeah, I understand that.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
you don't. But you don't feel that you guys have the same advantages that other people.
Okay, so I'm going to answer that with a question. Why do you think women have the same advantage as other people, as men?
No, I don't. Because I think society has evolved. We've had women that have excelled in various fields of academics, innovation, politics, culture, mm,
Mm-hmm.
exploration, name it. Women have proven to be, uh, you know, people that was a gender that can do better than men if given that opportunity to perform. Yeah,
Exactly.
you
You
know,
said if
um,
given the opportunity. You said two
no,
things. You said proven, and you said if
no,
given the
yeah,
opportunity.
yeah, if given the
Now,
opportunity, and sometimes, sorry, that's what
mm-hmm,
sometimes they also, I think, have to walk up their way. Look at let's take UK for example. Now,
mm-hmm,
they've had like, is it three prime ministers, and they've all been wonderful. All of them, Margaret Thatcher to Theresa May to this Truss,
mm-hmm.
three female prime ministers that, and they were not given the opportunity. They worked their way. They knew how to play politics. Like, I just want to say, I'm just trying to remember. They knew how to play politics in the world of men. They knew how to, climb the ladder of power. And, they were all considered, iron ladies that, yes, they stood their
Mm-hmm.
ground. They made their policies known. And whether you like it or not, they are leading figures in British politics, So that's what I'm trying to say. That the scale, maybe before the scale was not balanced, but
So you think
to
it is now?
me, I think it is to an extent.
Okay. So you just made my point for me. When you were speaking, you said a few things, some of which I've forgotten now already, but few things that I remember. You said number one, proven. You said number two, given the opportunity. The question is, why do they have to prove anything? Why do they have to prove that they can do it before they are given the opportunity? A man
Everybody
doesn't
have
have
to
to
prove
prove anything.
themselves.
No, wait, no,
Everybody,
no, no, no. Look, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's not the
no,
same. It's not the same. It is
when
not the
I say
same. It's
no,
the same way. It's the same way. Let's call it spade a spade, right?
okay.
If you are a black person, you have to almost do double the work that any other person would do. That is not any other person that isn't black would have to do for you to get ahead. It's the same thing. A white person will not understand the struggles of a black person. And if we're being 100% honest, men men would never completely understand the struggles of women. Women will never completely understand the struggles of men. And one thing that I do not like is when people try to act as if they get it. And then when women try to say, no, you don't get it, they say, but you have, but because the question is, why do we have to be in a place where, you know, women over time have had to fight and fight? That's the whole point of feminism, by the way. The fact that women have gotten to this point where things are easier for them is because of feminism. This is why we need feminism. So when people say, oh, women have gotten to a point where, they have equal opportunities as men, how do you think we got there? So why do you think now that you assume or people think that we've gotten to a place where we're equal to men, which I honestly don't agree? Why do you think we should do away with the thing that got us there? Do you understand what I'm saying? Women have had to
Yes.
fight and fight over time to get to a place where they are considered. in a place where, it's a man's world, basically. So why should we do away with the thing that has gotten us to the point where we are now? Feminism will always be relevant. Feminism will always be relevant because if you take away feminism, you're taking away choice and equity, like we have established. So do
Um,
I agree that we've gotten to a place where we're equal to men or where we have the same opportunities as men? I don't agree. I don't think so. I think there's still a lot of work to be done. There's still a lot of work to be done in society when it comes to equity, really.
it's just painful that we don't have more time to be able to discuss this because
Mm,
I think we'll have to come back for a part two, and I'm
I
serious
don't know. I'm
because
always here.
I wanted to talk about how it relates to empowerment, equality, independence, opportunity, but I think you only dealt with the equity part of it
Well, yes.
basically, and the equality part of it. Yes,
Mm,
but you have not dealt with the independence, the opportunity, and the empowerment. So that one is for a later date. Don't worry.
mm. Like I
It's for
said,
a
when you're
later,
talking about women, I'm there. Don't worry. Invite me,
for a
I'll come.
later date. It's for a later date. So when we now talk about the word submission in a faith-based context, what comes to mind?
There we go. You see, I've always had an issue with that word submission because a lot of people fixate on the whole submission aspect to,
Mm.
a woman's role. And it ticks me off really. I'm just like, there's more to a woman than
Why does it take it?
why does it take me off? Because like I said, people fixate on this idea of submission. To be honest with you, you know what I mean? If I'm being 100% honest with you, I have a big issue with submission. And for the purpose of
Wait,
this podcast, I might be biased. Let me just
no,
put
no,
it out
please. I
there.
see. Yes, I like as you put it out there that you are biased,
Let
but I
me
wanted
just
to
start
know.
like that.
Yeah, I wanted to know what comes to mind when it relates to respect, humility, partnership, and misunderstood concept of it. You
Okay,
understand? If it's
fantastic.
just this
I'm very
segment,
happy you included that.
if it's just this segment we're going to talk about today, and list and talk about for the time we want to talk about it,
Mm,
and the other two segments will come later date, I'm fine with it because we have to actually
wonderful.
understand and
Okay.
we need to talk about this in a plain and fair balanced way. So with those four things that I mentioned, what comes to your mind when
Mm,
it comes to submission relates to those things?
okay. So, I'm going to be talking from a Christian perspective, obviously, because I'm a Christian, right?
Okay.
Um, the whole idea of submission comes from the bit of the Bible where it says, women should submit to their husbands and husbands should love their wives like, um, Jesus loves the church, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Now, I think we need to take into consideration that the interpretation of the Bible has evolved and evolved and evolved from the original, right? And while I cannot, delve into the original text and what it meant and what Paul was saying, there was something I saw on the internet recently, and it was a matter of context. So the lady was saying that, as at the time Paul was writing, you know, his bits of the Bible, he had to, because obviously the Jews were under the Roman Empire and all that, he had
Yeah.
to conform the things that he said to fit the society that he was in, right? Especially when he
Okay.
was writing about societal issues, obviously. I mean, when he's writing about the gospel and Jesus and all that, it doesn't
Mhm.
matter what society says. It is what it is. Jesus is Lord
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah.
he's talking about societal issues, things like marriage, divorce, and things like that, he had to consider the society that he was in. He
Yeah.
had
I
to
think so too.
understand the
Yeah.
culture and the way of life of the people that he was writing to and about,
Even their
right?
mindset comes to mind also.
Exactly, comes into play. So as at that time, as opposed to now, the man's word pretty much was law. You know, if your husband tells you something, you will do it. If your master tells you something, you will do it. You know, so yeah, then there wasn't this whole idea of as a woman you have a voice. Nobody is listening to what you have to say. I mean, it still happens
Okay.
today, but obviously it can't compare to how bad it was then. So when Paul says, honestly, I don't think the target of that text was wives, women. I think the target of that text was men. And the reason why I say this is because the preamble is wives, submit to your husbands. What did the text say afterwards? It said, husbands, love your wives like Jesus loves the church. And it goes ahead to say, not stop there. It goes ahead to say, you should be willing to submit your life, just like Jesus did what submitted his life for the church. But nobody seems to consider that that was where Paul was going. Everybody just stops. And this is because for a very long time, women have been seen as the subordinates, right? So anywhere
Mm-hmm.
you see people, like if you see a text or a passage of the Bible or any writing or inscription that has the potential to influence the way people behave and make choices, anywhere you see that text talking about women and men and how they relate to each other, people tend to focus on the bit that talks about women. Because for a very long time, women have been considered the subordinates. So you are the one that should listen to what you are being told. Nobody remembers that the text also talks to the man. So personally, I am convinced and convicted that Paul was talking to the men. He started off by saying, women submit. That was the only thing he said about wives in that text.
Yeah, yeah.
That
I
was the
understand.
only thing he
Yeah, no,
said.
I understand.
Where
But
he
to
was
me, I like.
going, he's comparing
Mm,
how and this is not to take away from what he's saying about women or wives or whatever, but I believe that
yeah.
where he was going was trying to explain to men how to treat their wives and their families.
Yes,
But
now
again,
because
nobody ever takes
to
that into
me,
context.
no. To me, the phrase or that sentence goes into play because if somebody is quoting a phrase, that's just a phrase. Wife submit to your husband. They don't quote the sentence,
No,
which is what the husband
because
has to
everybody
now
picks
do.
and chooses. Everybody is selectively
Yeah,
blind.
that's just hypocritical to me. If I think both works hand in hand with each other because
Absolutely.
if you don't love someone, you can't claim to want to live on that person because I believe it's a partnership, and it requires some level of humility, respect, and
On both ends, really.
and
On
passion, yeah,
on both
and
ends.
passion, yes, and passion on both ends. For one, humility is a great strength of humility for a woman to decide to want to submit. A great strength of respect and partnership and passion for a man that wants to love his wife unconditionally because
Mm.
that's what Christ commands of us as human beings. But you've talked about it now once it relates to the misunderstood concept. Now I want you to talk about it once it relates to respect, humility, partnership.
All right. So respect. Obviously,
Maybe
you can't submit to somebody.
you don't respect Abby.
You can't submit to somebody you don't respect. It does not work. It can never work. It can work.
Mm,
But at the same time, I think respect is earned, right? You can't
mm,
disrespect somebody and expect them to submit to you.
what?
If you understand what I mean. You can't disrespect someone and expect them to submit to you.
Okay, yeah.
Now I'm saying if you're a man and you are expecting your wife or the person that you call your wife to submit to you,
Mm,
it's earned also, really. You can't just think it's automatic that, oh, now she's my wife, she has to submit to me. No, because she has a brain in her head at the end of the day. No matter what you say or do, she's thinking, she has a thinking faculty, and she's going to think to
yeah, but
herself,
I want to push back a bit. Not, I'm just trying to
okay,
play devil's advocate here. Not
mm,
that is my opinion. So please,
mm.
I don't want to push back a bit.
Okay,
Because
let's have it.
the I think in that context of the Bible, it didn't say if your husband respects you, submit. It just actually says submit. There is
It
no
just outrightly
context
says
behind.
submit. I think it goes without
No,
saying, to be honest.
wait, no, I'm just there's no context behind the submission. What has to
Mm-hmm.
entail? It just in the same way the Bible says honor your father and mother. It didn't say
Lovely.
it didn't say if your father is a
I
babalawo, don't honor him.
I do not think that's a fair
You understand?
comparison.
No. I'm just trying to play. Just
Mm,
let's see the other
I see
the
what
other
you're
mindset
saying. I see what
behind
you're
it.
saying,
Even
but
even even
I
even the
just
husbands too. Even the husbands too. You didn't say if your wife shows you the submission, you have to now love her. Your own is to love,
mm-hmm. All
irrespective of
right.
what happens. Your own is just to love your wife unconditionally. Love,
Mm,
they say love is kind, love is respectful, it does not breed this what do you call it, contempt. So when you love your
mm-hmm.
wife, you don't have to cheat on her, you don't have to disrespect her, you have to, you know, be kind to her.
Mm,
All of that things encompasses that also. So I'm not trying to say that there is no underlining prelude to it to say,
mm-hmm.
okay, if he does this, then I will not submit. No, that's what
Okay,
I'm
so
trying to
you
say.
basically answered your own question, really. You've already answered, well, it wasn't a question, but you've given the
I,
answer to what you were saying because you said, no, you really have, because you're saying that you listed the characteristics of love according to the Bible. It's patient, it's kind, it
mm-hmm,
doesn't hate, it doesn't breed contempt, and all that.
mm-hmm.
And if you really and truly love your wife, it will not be difficult for her to do what you call submission.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying now. Like, but
It's a symbiotic relationship.
yeah,
It really is.
okay,
That's what I
so
was
thank
getting
you
at.
so much for that.
That's what I was
Yeah,
getting at. I was saying that, if you had allowed me to finish, I was saying that you can't expect somebody to respect you. I mean, to submit to you when you don't respect them. If you love somebody, I think it's all encompassing. I think if you love somebody, you will submit to them. A lot of people are
first of
saying
all,
that, oh,
first of all, why would you
love.
do somebody you don't respect? That's the
I
question. Gone, gone, gone,
mean,
gone, gone.
people change, oh. Wallahi, people change. You never see anything. People switch up. People do a 180, a clean 180. Somebody that you dating them and you before you get engaged to them, and they are doing all nice and lovey-dovey to you. By the time you get married, that's when you see their true. It's only God. It's only God that will allow you to meet a genuine person. Honestly, because people really do change, And
Mm,
I think that's just it's something that you just have to pray and hope for the best. Because there's no
mm,
knowing someone completely. I don't believe you can know someone completely. You can't, even people don't even know their own selves completely. So back to what I was saying, it's a symbiotic thing. You can't, you can't expect somebody to submit to you if you don't respect them. And like I was saying that love is all encompassing. A lot of people say, oh, love is never enough. See, the only scenario where I believe that love is not enough, two things. Number one, both of you are AS. Number two, the person is abusing you. That's the only time love is not enough. Love is not going to save you from giving birth to SS children, that innocent SS children. It's true. It is very true. It's not, you cannot say you love somebody and you are AS, they are AS, you never want to marry. This is a PSA. Don't, if you are AS, don't marry somebody that is AS. Don't knowingly bring the poor children into this world only for them to come and suffer. This is a
yes,
PSA.
I think how will I put it now? I think that one is actually an issue. But I think there was a day. I think there was a day I was watching these Facebook skits and all these people that used to prank their girlfriends or something. So I don't even understand the whole concept behind that nonsense. But like, I think they were dating for 7 years, and they just found out that I think the guy just found out that they are ASAS,
How can you date
and
somebody for 7 years and you don't know their
then
genotype?
no, like and they just found out that they are ASAS, and so they've done things. The guy the girl doesn't want to let go. The guy said he
Okay.
cannot work out. The guy said lie because what
Do
you
you know
have
what pains
done.
me about the situation? What pains me about the situation is that at the end of the day, essentially, it's not either of them that will suffer. It is the poor child that will suffer. But that's even an aside.
Mm,
I've gone off the rails. The point is, I believe that the only time when love is not enough is when both of you are AS and when there is abuse involved. If somebody is abusing you
mm,
physically, financially, emotionally, spiritually, better run for your life. The point being,
mm,
I think love is all encompassing and love
mm,
involves respect. I've heard people say,
mm.
you can love somebody and not respect them. I think that's a big lie. That's rubbish. What you're doing is not love.
What?
You don't respect the person. I said, I've heard people say that you can love somebody and not respect them. I don't believe that. I believe love is all encompassing. If you love somebody, you will respect them.
Yes,
So,
so
you know,
like
it,
to me, it's just like it's bizarre when people say things like that. But like I don't. Submission is often is often misunderstood. Many people associate with it in power. But I think while faith traditions why traditional views may see it as that as losing power to something to somebody, I think faith points it a different way, as an act of humility, as an act of mutual honor to the person that you claim to want to
Hmm.
be in partnership with for the rest of your life. There
Do you
has
know where
to
my mind
be.
goes? Sorry, finish
Hmm?
up. Finish up,
There
sorry.
has to be some level of how will I put it? I don't say capitulations to some things, but there has to be some level of like I said, mutual honor in this
Mm,
scenario where everybody understands what Paul was writing in that scripture, and
mm,
how we claim to be Christians, and how we see Christ viewing it as this is what I meant when I was, putting it in Paul's mind. Or this is what I meant by this, not losing power. And that is just a weak argument to me. Like losing power, nobody's asking you to lose power. And I've listened to many preachers. No, no, that I'm not for that one. I'm not for that one. It's either my way or the highway. Like I'm not for that one. I'm not
okay,
for that
I'll
one.
have you know
But
that's
I'm
exactly
saying
what a lot of people translate it to.
yeah.
A lot
But
of men, that is what they translate it
but
to.
many preachers have preached it as an act of humility, an act of strength actually, because it takes great strength for you to be able to want to follow somebody for the institution of marriage for the rest of till death do us part. Like
Mm,
I don't so to for the rest of your life basically, that you want to
yeah.
live under the leadership of this person, and you are taking that leap of faith to be able to follow this man that I don't know what the future was about this person, but
Hmm. Can I
but
come in? Can I interject? I have a lot to say and I feel like I'll forget the things I want to say.
okay, please say it
So,
because it's your
um,
show.
I
I'm here
know
to listen
that
to you.
like we established, there are a lot of things that go without saying when it comes to that scripture. And I think one of those things is that people don't consider that submission is not the only thing required of the wife. You are also supposed to love your husband. You are
Mm,
also supposed to love your husband. And
mm,
love is all encompassing, but I think submission is a completely different kettle of fish,
yeah,
you know?
me too.
And it's not, I think people underestimate how much it is to ask somebody to submit. And this is why people need to give women grace, because if you want to die on this hill of submission, you need to be able to give grace to the person you are expecting to submit. Especially somebody that you do not, it's not as if you've known the person all their life. It's not as if you are their parents. It's not, as a matter of fact, you might be age mates. Matter of fact. And then you get married to this person and you expect them to just submit, especially in the way you think they should be submitting. Because people don't ask the woman, what do you think submission is? They just expect you to submit in accordance to what they have in their head about what submission is. Do you understand what I'm saying? So people underestimate how much they are asking of women when they say, oh, you need to submit, oh, the Bible says you submit. Have you sat down to think about the gravity of what you're asking for?
Which is why many preachers are now saying, if you know, now I'm just see, I'm not trying to give you the other side of the argument. That's not
Mm.
my view. Like I say, I don't try to give you the other side. Which is why many people are now preaching. If you know you cannot submit to this man, don't marry him. If you know
That is
you
where I
cannot do
disagree with
it,
you, because I think that a
it's
lot,
not
no,
me.
really
I'm
and
giving the argument.
truly,
I'm giving you the
I
argument of other
disagree with
people.
whoever it is that the argument of whoever it is that you are presenting. Disagree with them, because another thing that I would like people to understand is that this thing is not a 1 day thing, it's not a 2 day thing, it's not a 10 year thing, it's a lifelong thing.
Yes, which is
You don't
why
say you don't this it is the same way loving somebody is something that evolves and grows over time. You can't expect somebody to, oh, as they married to you, I've married you now, so from today you submit. It doesn't work like that.
Sukomi, I
It
agree
doesn't
with
work
you.
like that,
Which is
especially
why
if you're with somebody that, no, let me finish. Especially if you're with somebody who basically can stand on their own 2 feet and they don't need anybody's opinion or anybody's arguments for them to make decisions or do anything on their own. You understand? So for you to expect them to submit to you today because you have married them, I mean, I know that obviously it's not that's not usually the case, but a lot of people are like, oh, you're my wife, you need to submit to me, or oh, this person is your husband, you need to submit to him. I think people need to understand that just like any other quality or attribute, it's a lifelong thing, something you learn over time. It's something that evolves. You can't finish doing everything in one day. The same way you cannot love somebody, it's only God that loves us completely. You can't love
Mm.
somebody, you can't love every single aspect of somebody in the same day or, over a year or 10 years. It's something that you do for as long as you know the person, for as long as you're with the person, for as long as you have a relationship with the person.
Yeah.
Also, people don't understand that an aspect to submission. As a matter of fact, if you ask me, I just thought about it now. Thank you, Holy Spirit. But I just thought about it now. People don't understand that submission requires trust.
Mm.
It's not something you just pull out of thin air. It requires trust. So if you're married to somebody and you say, okay, submission, Abby, we'll work on it, and the person lets you down. I'm not saying you obviously nobody's perfect. People have the tendency to let you down over and over and over again. But you cannot continuously let somebody down and expect them to submit to you. I think a huge part of submission is trust. You can't submit to somebody you don't trust.
Mm.
You can't submit to somebody you don't trust. It's one plus one. You get? So that is something people don't consider. That's something a lot of men don't consider. You marry
Thank you.
somebody, you treat her a particular type of way. And it
Yeah.
can be something as little as she's saying, oh, I don't like this thing. You might think it's petty, but she's saying this little thing you do, I don't like it. Or this there's something that is constantly, a disturbance on the back of your mind, or in the marriage or in the relationship or whatever. No matter how tiny it is, as long as it is a disturbance, it is a hindrance for the submission that you are looking for. Because if this person keeps having this problem and they keep mentioning to you and you're not addressing it, how do you expect them to trust you? And how do you expect somebody to submit to you if they don't trust you? It's like doing a trust fall. You are submitting yourself to the person's strength, basically, in a trust fall. You're expecting
Mm.
them to catch you. That's exactly like what it is. You're expecting them to catch you. So if you don't trust the person, you will not even want to fall in the first place. You will hold yourself back.
Mm.
So people don't understand that submission is in the hand of the man as much as it is in the hand of the woman. Matter of fact, it is more in the hand of the man. Because as long as you are not with a quarrelsome person or a troublesome person or someone that just likes problem, if you do the things that we are supposed to do, if you're with a reasonable person, whatever it is that you're looking for, it won't be difficult for you to get it from them. And
Mm.
this is not, I'm not saying that, all women are the same and everybody wants peace. A lot of people out there want violence. A lot of people out there, they don't want peace. They want problems always. But I don't speak for those people. Please, I'm a very reasonable person. I'm rational. I'm
Yeah.
speaking from the point of view of somebody who likes peace. I don't want problems in my relationship. I don't want issues
Yeah.
in my marriage. So I will do what is expected of me. But if the other person is not holding up their part of the bargain, it's not going to work. And what does that include? That includes, showing the person that they can trust you. Showing them
Think.
that they can trust you is
Yeah.
very important.
Well, thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate your time. You have to come back for a part two for this because we're about to round up now. I just want to just put this out there so that you understand uh, where the opposite side of the argument is. And when I said, um, like the other argument is, don't marry someone you cannot submit to, or this thing. The argument basis is on the fact that okay, and I think we are missing the point here. When it comes to relationship and marriage, and most of us actually often miss the point because the person that institutionalized this institution is God Himself, and most of us put Him
Mm-hmm.
aside when it comes to matters of the heart, when it comes to matters of journey, when it comes to matter of our own purpose and our own life matters. Most often than not, we listen to our heart, love, 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 love. But is this the right person for me? And I would, now put it together with the fruit of the spirit. We have love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. All these are things that
Mm.
we must all possess as children of God. And the love is agape love, yeah, because it's unconditional, it is selfless, it is sacrificial, it is not based on
Mm,
feelings. So it's not based on feelings
absolutely.
but choice. It is seeking the good of others. So that's what I'm trying to say. That yes, if you know, and this is why the other argument is very valid to an extent. If you know in your heart of heart that you cannot do this to this person, I think it's just easier to don't do it at all because it is a choice. It is not feelings at all we're talking about here, which I understand your own argument. It is a choice to want to do something because it is the right thing to do or because God commands it of you to do. It is not your feelings at all.
Absolutely. No, I agree with you
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
100% that it's
and
not your
yeah,
feelings, but will you
like,
submit to a foolish person?
no, that's what I'm saying. That you have to do. It's not commanding of you to do your own homework and let the Spirit of God guide you, not to a foolish man.
No, absolutely. But
It's
again,
true
I
now.
would like
And
for you
what
to
and,
understand and know that
and what
people are multidimensional. I hope you know that. People
I
don't stay the same
know.
forever. A wise
Yes.
man today can become a foolish man. Solomon, case in point.
But they say
Yeah,
behind every wise man, there's a wise woman behind it. So if your husband becomes foolish later in the future, I think
that's
we
not
have
on
to look
you.
at.
Personally, I don't believe that's on you, except you you've been foolish from the start. No, really and
you know,
truly. It's
no,
true.
no.
It's true. There are lots of no,
You
no,
can't, you
no. You
can't,
are saying
no,
this
you
thing
can't
as if
know.
it is linear. You are saying it as if it goes in a straight line. It does not go in a straight line.
I'm not saying
There are
in
wise
a straight line.
wise people make foolish decisions. And if you
Yes,
constantly
obviously.
decide that you want to make foolish decisions, that's not on me.
I didn't say it's
It's
on
not.
you, but it's not. I didn't say it's on you. But when you're saying that wise person can become foolish tomorrow, I'm just trying to joke that
It's true
they
now.
said behind every wise man is a wise woman. So if
No,
your
no, no,
husband
that's not what
becomes
they
foolish,
say. They said behind every that's not what they say. They say behind every successful man there is a
I want to
woman.
call
That
my
is what
own
they say.
I want
That's
to
the
coin my I
saying.
want to coin my own phrase from that.
You're turning
You
it on
know?
its head. Look at you.
But
No.
what I'm trying to say is, like, yes, you don't follow a foolish man down the road and you follow him into the pit. No, it is for
Mm-hmm.
you because they say is the head, you are the neck, so you are one that can turn. That's what the power of people can do.
Okay.
It can. And
Oh,
people that have been in marriage have said it. Not me, I've not been married before. So they said the power
people that
that
have
it can
been in
make
marriage
you,
have said it.
yeah, it can make you turn your husband someone that
No,
can listen
but
to
that was not
you
what you
and
said.
trust
That was
your
not what you said
judgment.
from the start. That was
What
not
did I
your
say from the
argument
start?
from the start. Your argument from the start was
My
that
own argument was talking from
it is a
what other people
commandment.
are
No,
saying.
wait. Okay. What? Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's that? Yes, yes, whatever. The the point is what you said was it is a commandment from. Actually, it was not God. It was Paul, but it was in the Bible. The Bible said, let's say it like that. The Bible said that you
Mm.
should submit to your husband and wives, husbands should love their wives. That was your start. That was how you started. You now said love is not a choice. It is till death do you part. Part,
No, I
part,
didn't say love is not a
part.
choice.
Yes.
I said love is
You
a choice.
said
I
it is
said
not based on emotions.
yes.
You said love is a choice. It's not based on emotions. That's what you said. Sorry. Then you said it is forever. It is till you die. Right? That was what you said.
No,
Then
that's
you
the
now
marriage
went for
part of
that.
it.
You
That's
now
that.
went for, yes, yes, yes. You now went for that and said, this is why you need to think and consider and pray that God gives you a wise person and all that and all that. And me, I am telling you that wise people can become foolish. And it is on the person that decides to become foolish. Now, my argument is because, like you have said for those other people, you've argued for the other side. Me, I'm arguing for women now. What I am saying to you is that if you are with somebody and they were doing very well, they were fine, they were wise, and you were doing your best to submit to them, you were doing excellent, everybody was doing okay. Then one day, the person now decides to turn foolish. Personally, maybe, oh yeah, I should speak for myself at this point. I'm not going to speak for
Okay.
all women. Personally, I think, this is my opinion. I think if somebody constantly proves to you that they want to be foolish, don't in the name of submission say you are going to follow them. You said it yourself. That somebody is jumping into a pit. You are not going to follow them into the pit. So I am saying that if somebody has proved to you that they want to constantly and steadily be foolish, don't say in the name of submission that the Bible says you should submit to you.
I
I'm
didn't
not saying
say
you should
that.
disobey the
Yeah,
Bible,
I didn't
but
say that. I didn't say that. No.
what did you say? That was
I
what you
didn't say,
said.
no. I didn't.
That was what you
Who,
said.
that if you follow a foolish person. No,
No,
now
no,
I didn't say
no,
that.
no.
Though.
I didn't say.
No,
I'm not
you. I
listening
want
to
to say
me.
that. You want to say that if the man now decides to be foolish, And what my own argument
I
is,
know.
someone that is walking in the path of
I'm
Christ,
going based on what
walking,
you've
walking
said,
with this,
Sha.
walking. No, let me rephrase it.
The
Someone that is walking in the
okay.
path of Christ, walking in the Spirit
Mhm.
of God, that has the Holy
Mhm.
Spirit directing his
Mhm.
ways, cannot be foolish. Sukomi.
Okay.
He might make
Okay.
some stupid decisions at times if he decides to
Mhm.
deviate from the will
If
and
it is
plan of God.
isolated, then okay.
Yes, but
If it is
it's not a
isolated, then fine.
it's not something that is repetition. We are human beings, we make mistakes. It's not that it's
Oh, you
weekly.
should have started to
It's
be
not like it's a
that.
monthly kind of thing that is playing
If it
foolish
is
every month.
isolated, then okay. But if you decided to follow a foolish person in name of submission, I pity you.
No,
I pity you, my sister.
I'm not in that camp with that. No, I'm not
You
there.
will not,
That you constantly
you
follow.
won't see it
No,
coming.
I'm not in that camp. And that you constantly follow foolish people down the drain. Which is
You
why
say,
they said
oh,
you should
because
open your eyes. Why you guys
they
are
said I should
yes now.
submit.
You guys they say you should open your eyes
So
while
no
you're
matter what
40.
it does, I will fight.
No, no. Which is why you should open your
Oh,
eyes
shame.
while you're in a relationship with this kind of people, while you're seeing somebody be open your eyes,
No,
things
it's
like
not a
that.
matter of opening your eyes. You better hold your head and pray to your
And
God
pray.
that will lead you
Thank
to
you.
somebody that is after
And
his
yes,
heart and
open
someone
your
that is not
eyes,
foolish.
watch and
Because,
pray. Watch and pray. Simple.
period.
Understand? Watch
Period.
and pray. So,
Period.
for me, we have to come back. I know we have to come back. We just only dealt with one
I-
segment, which is understanding the term
it's very
of
multi-layered.
feminism. Yeah. So obviously would have to invite you back for the part two of this so that we can finish this up. I want to sincerely appreciate you. I don't want to have a closing remark here because we've not completed the session. So
Mm,
like I just said, if you open to Galatians 5, 22 to 23, it talks about the fruit of the spirit, the 9 qualities that the Holy Spirit produce in every believer's life, and they are evidence of spiritual maturity and godly character.
mm,
So like I
mm.
said before, this is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, long suffering.
Gentleness, goodness,
Yes,
long
gentleness.
suffering.
Thank you. So those things must be evident in every believer's life. Without it,
Mm-hmm,
you can't manifest all these things that we talked about today. You can't know how to love.
mm,
It's not a feelings based. Like I think Pastor Apostle Joshua Sema was saying that I love you now. It's like water. It doesn't mean anything anymore. They've bastardized that phrase. It doesn't mean so
People
it
don't
is.
understand that love is really is bitter work. It's really hard.
Yes, it
It's
is. It
really
is. Yeah,
hard. It's not.
yeah.
Oh dear me.
Yeah.
So let me
So
get into
I
it.
want you guys to just watch out for the part two of this. If you have any comment section, you can you have any comment, you can drop it in our comment section. We are on every social media platform. I Live Talk Pod with Bami on Instagram, I Live Talk Pod with Bami on TikTok at KB Live Talk Pod with Bami. On YouTube, I Live Talk Pod with Bami also. So please follow, share, like. If you have any suggestions or
Subscribe.
comments, let me know. Yes, let me know in the comment section. We'll be collaborating with Sukomi when the video drops on our Instagram, so you can be able to hear from her directly also. But she's going to be back for part two, maybe next year.
Yeah.
I
I'm gonna
don't
be
know, but
here.
but she's going to be back
Clocking.
for part two so that we can complete the whole thing. Honestly, we have to complete it. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Till we see you again next week. Bye.
Bye.